Hello fam, welcome. My name is MagdalineJanet. If you are new, welcome to the fam. Please don't forget to like and subscribe because we're always here having a good time. And come visit me on Instagram and TikTok because I'm there too all the time. Oh my gosh. Of course, welcome back to all my oldies but goodies. You know I'm obsessed with concealer. I have very dark under eyes. They look even darker right now because I put my foundation on. I avoid foundation in that area at all costs. We don't need to be doing all that, you know? The only thing I have underneath here is my Belief eye cream that I placed like an hour ago. So it's been a while. So I got the Dior concealer on Dior's website. So it comes in this nice packaging. Like what? With the little receipt and all that. That's cute. But what's important is the concealer. I've never tried their Backstage line and I've heard wonders about it. So this is how the concealer looks. Is it a little too dark? Maybe not. Sometimes when I order stuff, I swear I'm ordering like half asleep because I ordered the wrong thing. But let's see. I'm over here. Let me just start. It has this applicator that it kind of looks like a brush. Is it a brush? Ooh, it's gentle. It is a bit of a brush. Pretty pigmented, but as you can see, the shade is too dark. Whoops, my bad. So usually with concealers, you maybe about a shade or two lighter than your skin tone. Start with concealing here. Well, actually, the color's pretty good. And then I'm just gonna add some here, add a little bit right there. I'm looking at the bottle. It's pretty big. It's a 0.37 ounces, so it's a little bit bigger than the average. The average is 0.33 ounces. I am just going to blend it out. Oh no, this shade's actually good. Okay. This is supposed to be a full, This is supposed to be a full coverage concealer. I like full coverage concealers, but those could get really heavy really quick. So off the bat, blending it out. Ooh, okay. Wait a minute, and it's like creamy, very creamy, pigmented. Oh. I'm legit all over the place. I have the shade 3 Cool, not neutral. I got Cool because Cool tends to have red, pink undertones, and that also helps to color correct. Usually if you pick a pinkish undertone, it will color correct, and I can see that color correcting in effect. Because look at, like you see the hydration there versus before. Let me look up. It's creasing, but not as much as I would think, especially when it comes to full coverage. Those tend to be a little bit on the thicker side. So I'm kind of excited. So what I'm gonna do is apply this eye on, blend it out with the brush to see if we get a little bit of a difference. As I do that, I'm gonna give you all the info about the product. The new Dior Backstage Flash Perfector Concealer retails for $29. It comes in 22 shades. I'm in the shade 3C for Cool. This is a full coverage concealer for the face and body with a crease-proof, waterproof formula that blends seamlessly with the skin for a radiant and natural finish. Enriched with caffeine, it provides an immediate, fresh, revitalizing effect to the under eye area. This comes in a 0.37 ounce bottle. Wow, you see that coverage with the brush? The brush will always give you more of a fuller coverage. Oh, I like this. And this is just a blending brush, like a small, it's dense though. You know, you want to have a dense brush. The smaller and denser it is, the better coverage you will get. It does crease, it does provide coverage, and it's very creamy, very blendable. I let it sit for like a minute and it didn't dry down or anything. It just really blended nicely. So, okay. So let's set the skin with my Huda Beauty Cherry Blossom Setting Powder. I really like this powder. And because it is pink, it will serve as a bit of a color corrector as well. So this is how it looks. The sponge side needs a little more love. So let's add, wait, which one's the sponge? Oh, this side. Okay. Yeah, okay. So on the sponge side, I'm gonna use my powder puff that I always use. I'm gonna get a little bit of powder, even it out on the hand, because the less powder in the under eyes, the better it's gonna look, the longer it's gonna last, the less drier, the less cakey and textured it's gonna look, you know? So I'm gonna look up, again, just dab gently. As I'm looking up, I'm gonna get my puff set. And what I'm doing is just pressing in that powder literally as I'm looking up. I do this for about 10 seconds. And then you can look ahead and just kind of set as you're looking like that. And I'm using a setting powder I know works. I don't try new products at the same time, because what if one doesn't work? I'm gonna blame the other. You know what I'm saying? With this brush, it's a little small brush. I'm going to get the powder. You want to really get the powder in all the bristles and then remove. I do this about 2 times. Same process, looking up, getting rid of creases. You see how you can see the dip? I do find that when I set with the brush, you can see that dip a little bit more. So let me get my powder puff, because look, it's like magic. This thing's gonna disappear. So I'm just gonna go like that. You see? Crazy. So I like how the concealer blended out with the brush, but I like this powder puff better to set. Look at these under eyes. Let me look up. They don't look heavy, doesn't feel heavy. We have good coverage. Wow, I'm like legit surprised. This coverage, and you can see, you can tell there isn't any texture going on there. And if I look up, you can see there isn't creasing. A lot of times your eyes will crease, constantly blinking, but what I judge the concealer on is how quickly it creases and if it creases while we set. When we set our concealer, if it's a creaseless concealer, it shouldn't crease. You'll get creasing throughout the day because it happens, but like right now, we should not have any creases. Cool, okay, what time is it? We started a little bit late today, so what I'm gonna do is just finish up the face and I'll be back. I'm really liking the coverage. It looks really good. Let me look up so you can see how it looks. And I will say I did have to blend out, where's my brush? The creases a little bit as I was finishing up my face. But for the most part, like they're not really creasing again. Just keep in mind that could happen also if you have a lot of product in there. Even though you set your concealer down, you will have creasing immediately because there's so much product. So I always suggest get a little brush, the brush we use, and kind of just like sweep it like that, and then you'll be good to go. Let me just jump in front of the window so you guys can see how it looks in daylight, because with concealer, daylight is a game changer. It could be good or bad, you know? Okay, see you later. Bam, here we are. This is how the concealer looks. I just love how smooth it looks. Right? Especially being a full coverage, like pretty creamy concealer. Look at this. I like it. Like, I'm surprised how much I like it, especially because I feel like I could still go to shade 2 cool as opposed to 3 cool. Overall, I could fucks with it. But let's see how the day goes. Oh, fam, I'm back. It is 10 o'clock. We've had the concealer on, girl, for a long time. But of course, I do want to show you how the under eyes were looking at around 5 o'clock in direct sunlight. Under eyes were looking really, really good. Creasing wasn't there. We still had coverage. We still had a very hydrated look. And here we are now, 11 hours later. Remember, we kind of like the brush a little bit more. Okay, let me look up so you can see. This eye has a little bit more creasing than this one. This is the eye with the brush, and then this is with the sponge. But as you can see, we have good coverage still at 11 hours. Wow, I'm just very, very impressed. Like I told you guys, we're always gonna crease. We will have creasing at the end of the day, but it just depends how much, you know? For day number 1, we're looking pretty good. We do not look gastadas. We actually look really well put together. Okay, this is it. See you tomorrow. Bye. Hey fam, welcome back to day numero 2. So today, let's change it up. On the left eye, we're gonna use our under eye primer, and on the right side, we're gonna do a little bit of color correcting just to give you another option how this concealer works and how it layers, you know? We're just going to prime here. This primer is really, really good. It really helps concealer last long and it prevents creasing. Not completely from happening, but you know, it helps it out. The other eye, I'm gonna get the Lancome Corrector in Peach. This one a little bit goes a long way. And then again with this, I'm gonna use my finger. Just tap it on. Oh, okay. I feel like this concealer, I don't know if it like, is it me or it has like a gray tone to it. So I'm gonna add concealer here, the usual areas. I love how creamy it is. Oh, where's my sponge? Okay, so what I was thinking is to blend it out with the brush we used yesterday. So let's kind of just tap it in. Because this brush is small, it will take a little more time to blend. And it gave us like good coverage. If you ever feel like you have too much concealer, you can always, you know, blend it out like we did right now. And get your sponge and just tap over it. The placement's already there with the brush. When you tap it, it kind of just removes that top layer. Just a little bit. I have this pimple right here that decided to pop up. Let's grab it. Applicator is so good. I love it. I love it. That's new. I've never seen a concealer that has like its own little applicator. Well, now looking at it, I think this shade is good. I want to show you actually with the lights turned off. You see that hydration right there? Like, girl. And let me look up. It is creasing a little bit. I do have dry under eyes or drier under eyes. They're not as dry anymore because I really do moisturize them and I make sure they don't really dry up. But for the most part, they can easily dry up. And this concealer is just giving it love. And we're gonna get a little bit of the Maybelline Fit Me concealer. Not concealer, powder. Get a little bit, really even this bad boy out. And actually, let me look, since we have this side with the primer and this side with the corrector. They're both creasing the same amount. Our powder puff that's ready to go. I'm gonna look up. Let's get rid of the creases here. I'm looking up just like we did yesterday. Tap powder in. This is a lighter powder, so it can lighten up the under eye area. Powder can be your best friend. Oh, look how good this looks. Here is primer side. Here is corrector side. What you think? Hey, so excited, so excited. You guys, it is 6:30 in the morning. I woke up at 5. So yeah, anyway, let me just finish up the face and I'll be back. This concealer is legit waterproof. I washed my hands thoroughly, like thoroughly. You see they're clean. And look, this is still on. It's waterproof. Wow, okay. This is how the under eyes look. Here's the prime side. Here is the color corrector side. I don't feel like I see much of a difference from yesterday, right? Do you? I see my dip a little bit more today, I feel. Let's turn down the lights because sometimes I'm like, do I see more of a shadow than yesterday? But no. You see with the lights turned off, it looks really good. I just love how smooth it looks. The under eyes don't look textured. Primer, corrector. What do you think? Do you see a difference? Do you see a slight difference? If I were to pick, I'm kind of liking the primer side. Let me know what your thoughts are on day number 2. Okay, bye. All right, fam, this is how the concealer looks. Here is the side with the primer. No lie, this one looks really good in daylight, huh? Doesn't it look so smooth here? And then this is the color corrector. Doesn't look as smooth. Like here we have smooth. Ooh, but we like the coverage, huh? I feel like in daylight, we really see the true concealer kind of at work. Cause I don't know, the studio lighting is just throwing me off these 2 days, you know? But yeah, I like it, I like it. Okay, bye. Hello, fam. I'm back. It is 5 o'clock. But of course, before we get started, I do want to show you how it was looking about an hour ago in beautiful sunlight. I really want you to see how the coverage looks, how smooth it looks, how hydrating it looks. And here we are 12 hours later. Let's just go on in and turn off these lights. The coverage is there. Let me look up. Creasing is there, but you know, we're always gonna crease, but it doesn't, look bad. I suspected the primer side looks a little bit better as opposed to the Lancome corrector side. It's creasier, but also the Lancome corrector is very thick. So you have to really go in with a tiny, tiny little amount so you don't get creasing and things just don't get into the creases in the under eyes. Definitely don't look gastadas, right? We look well put together. Overall, I really liked how the concealer worked for both days. It worked consistently well. I would prefer it with the primer and then the concealer on top. Also applying it with the brush and then blending it out with the sponge. I thought today was just like such a good day. The only thing I will say, this oxidizes like crazy. Actually, I didn't smell it. Hold on. Oh, and it does have a scent. Yeah, it smells like the Dior foundation, the matte one I recently reviewed. I still kind of want to go in with shade 2C. Shade 3C definitely worked out. I think it's creamy. I love the applicator. It stayed hydrated. We had coverage all day long. So this is definitely a yes for me. And yeah, I'm so excited to do this. Thank you so much for hanging out with me these 2 days reviewing Dior's Backstage Concealer. Let me know your thoughts. Have you picked it up? Have you seen it around? I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and spending a little bit of your day with me. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, click the button right there, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.